Welcome to Stories with Dice. This is the Dark Blue Sea, a Mutant Year Zero actual play podcast. If you're enjoying our actual plays, please subscribe to Stories with Dice so you'll never miss an episode. Don't forget to rate and review us. It really helps others discover the podcast. Follow us on social media to stay updated, share your thoughts, and join the conversation. You'll find the relevant links in the description of each episode.
Welcome back to Stories with Dice and our Mutant Year Zero campaign. It's another episode. It's going to be a tense one, I think. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? If you want to know what's happened before this, go listen to our others. If you want to just start off in the middle, well, you can do that. You're free to do whatever you want. Just carry on listening to us. So I'll get straight back into it. It's been a bit of a tense standoff. You went to go and find out if you could trade with these mutants or people that you've kind of like come across on the island in the zone. You found that they were going to do a trade with you, Moss's shiny yellow jacket, raincoat, for food. And then they brought out Blossom, one of your own, from the ship. It turns out that she was food, which also begs the difference of who are they eating back there. So, yes, you've managed to get her and start to walk away from them when Caspian has trailed someone who was flanking you and shoved the barrel of his gun into the back of this person and told him to shut up. He then let out a large yell and goes to turn around to stab you with his scrap knife. I guess, Caspian, what would you like to do?
Fuck him, I'm going to shoot him.
Okay. Feel free, give yourself an extra couple of dice for being point blank range.
Fuck you, you didn't do what I told you. Fuck you, you didn't do what I told you. I have 3 successes. The damage is shoot.
So that's your standard damage. And you got 3 successes. Okay. Which gives you another 2 successes. So you'll be doing 4 damage if that's what you would like to do to him.
That is what I would like to do to him, yes.
Okay. Yeah, you take a step back and you shoot him point blank range and you hit him in the head and his head explodes and he hits the floor dead. I guess we'll see what they decide to do. There is a large gunshot as everyone suddenly stops and tenses up.
And I attempt to tense up as if I don't know what's just happened because I'm like, Caspian's just shot someone because he's the only person he's not here. That's the gun.
Yep. So yeah, there you go. You've got a pretty much good idea what that is.
Attempt to look equally as credulous to what's going on.
Okay. Blossom sort of like has her eyes wide open as that is the case, and she sort of just tries to kind of hunker down as best she can.
Yeah, I'll actually drag her past me and half turn my back on them and effectively open my coat as she gets to the other side of me. I'll just glance down at the revolver in my belt, indicating that she should take the revolver.
Okay, well, she fumbles for the revolver and she takes it. Well, that's what she's going to do this turn. The others all start to kind of move towards you.
I think I'm just trying to get out of there. I really am not happy for fighting encounters, and I suspect highly that we're being outnumbered. And I mean, a couple of these people probably have guns, and I just don't want to be here. So I start legging it.
Well, unfortunately, it's not your turn yet, Moss.
No, I'm just saying that too. Like I sort of look around for, like, where's the way out of here?
You start to turn around and look, and you can see the person with the 4 arms who's got the scrap axe is basically steaming his way towards you, Roach. And so he swings at you, and then on the backswing, he attacks you again, and he hits you. Would you like to try dodge, or can you do anything as a reaction with your body?
Can't do anything as a reaction, so I will try and dodge, I suppose.
You can either parry or you can dodge. So you can either fight or you can move.
I'll try and swing round and parry it with my scrap axe. So that'd be a fight.
It would be a fight. But yeah, as he brings out the axe, swings it past, you bring out your axe, and as he comes on the backswing, hit your axe with his axe. And there's an almighty kind of clang as you sort of carry his axe away. Nicely done. The other one kind of like comes running towards you and stops and looks at you and then holds his breath, and you can see things start to pop out of his head, what looks like these little spores or something.
Okay, so everything's kind of kicking off. We're the exit of the alleyway.
You are.
There's at least, I've seen like 10 people.
There's about 10
charging.
people in total. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take a step back out of the alleyway and I'm going to yell at them to not follow us out of the alleyway, or the 10 snipers that we have positioned around here will kill them instantly if they step out of the alleyway. And I will attempt to manipulate them to not follow us.
Could you make a manipulate, but at -2, please? Let's see how well you blag. Do you want to push that?
You know what? I will actually push that.
Okay. No successes for you at the moment.
No.
But my empathy has taken an absolute battery.
That is not good. You kind of like realize that no matter what you say, these 10 guys are going to jump you and stab you to death. You've got no sort of conviction in what you say or what you're doing. You just think this is going to be the end. The only thing you can really do is just get the hell out of there and run for your life, pretty much.
That's what I'm going to do next turn.
You coward.
Says the one who was sneaking around and didn't even participate and then set off this entire thing.
They were gonna never let us go. They were gonna eat us all.
I lost my raincoat for nothing. I yell over my shoulder as I run.
So the leader, the de facto leader that you spoke to, who had the spear, he looks you square in the eyes, Moss, and he says, "Drop it." All you've got is just the sort of like the box of stuff. Can you please make is it wits? I think it's wits.
Actually, the thing we're talking about is fairly big, right? It's like an ammo box.
Yeah, it's an ammo box.
I'm thinking that sort of, like hurling this in front of somebody's feet could be actually quite a good, not exactly weaponizable, but, so it's kind of hinder them. Might, break a toe.
Yeah, you could break a toe.
So yeah, I'm gonna. I feel again like we're so outnumbered and all. Like this is. I'm happy to head this in the general direction of their toes.
Yeah, you just throw it down in front of you towards the person's toes. They're like really close to you. You're like, and it makes a horrible noise. The trinkets and stuff that you had come flying out, and he kind of takes a step back. Caspian, it's you, my friend.
My rifle has a range of long. So is this prick right here in front of Roach within that range increment?
Yes, but Roach is sort of in the way.
Not really.
I've disappeared off the map.
He's not in my line of sight.
I think his token's gone walkabout because that is roughly where people were talking about him as if he was there earlier.
No, his token's right here.
That's me.
No,
well, that's you.
No,
that's a
there
tree.
He is. He's disappeared. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cockred.
Well, Caspian can't even differentiate between his own friends. He's just like, it's all food to Caspian.
Sure, that's quite clearly in the line of sight.
Okay.
The guy at the top, though, who's making his way down this way, is definitely not.
He's in my range? Okay.
Easily within your range.
I'm going to shoot that motherfucker.
Cool. You don't have any modifiers. It's just a straight roll.
Son of a...
Oh, it's one of these
that
combat encounters.
God. Let's see.
This running away starts to look better and better all the time.
Go on then. Push the roll.
No. Was that your fancy new assault rifle as well?
No, it's the scrap rifle.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
All right, so obviously from all that grunting, I've rolled really badly. I've lost an agility point, and it looks like my gun is damaged.
Yeah. You hear a crack sick noise, which is probably not the noise you wanted to, just after the gunshot. And you can see that there's something wrong with the mechanism.
Worry if we survive this, I'm sure I can fix it for you.
On the plus side, it does make a very large club.
I am going to, when I get a chance, if you tell me if I can do it now or later, that's fine. Swap out the rifle, put it back on my shoulder, and get the assault rifle.
Yeah, you can definitely throw the scrap rifle, which you kind of over your shoulder, and then next turn you can grab out your assault rifle. Okay. All right. Well, the others seem to be closing in, but they're being quite cautious for whatever reason. They seem to sort of be allowing the leader and the rest of them to kind of take you all on rather than them kind of doing it. But the guy that you shot at, he kind of looks at you and he sort of like starts to run towards you, sees that you're kind of changing your weapon over. And as he does so, he starts to inhale, and you can see he then rushes forward and exhales. And fire appears out of his mouth and it roars towards you.
That's a good mutation. I'll steal that.
Needs to get arm's length.
Yeah. But it kind of like, he misjudges how fast he gets to you, and it kind of just appears in front of you, and it's just, you can feel the heat, but it doesn't actually do anything to you.
But does he burn his dead comrade?
Well, his dead comrade probably gets a bit of a singeing, but he isn't quite close enough for that either. Right, so Roach, it's you, my friend.
Take it. This guy with the scrap axe in front of me he's got his head in the game.
He does.
So I'm just going to have to take a swing at him because he's not going to stop. So
take it you're going to axe him to the potential head.
I think I'm going to have to. Oh, so one success.
Do you want to push any of that, or are you happy with what it is?
Oh, I'm going to keep that as it is for now.
Okay.
I've just
What's
parried
the damage of your scrap axe?
The damage is 3.
Okay. Yeah. He's that's nice. Yeah, you hit him with the axe. He sort of starts to move back a bit and tries to parry, but he fails to do so. And your axe cuts straight into his sort of like arm and chest, opening up a massive lacerated wound. You can see sort of sinews and stuff pop and pin. Sort of starts to bleed, and he sort of shouts with this horrible sort of like scream and kind of staggers backward as blood is now just streaming down his chest. That's done. Right. Where are we? We are, the rest of the said guys are all sort of figuring out what they're doing, but they don't seem to be attacking. All right. Moss, that's you.
Yeah, I hope that the, tossing my box has sort of bought me enough room to keep running.
Yeah, you can, by all means, if you want to make a move roll, run.
Oh, and no success, unfortunately.
Yep, you're kind of caught flat-footed, really. They're kind of pushing towards you. You're trying to you've thrown the box down. You kind of go to move. There's rubble and rubbish everywhere. Do you want to try and push it? We'll take some damage.
Realistically, I think this situation is threatening enough to make me want to push it. Yeah. And still no success. And I guess I did not know my lesson last time.
No, you do kind of you kind of stop. And as you kind of start to turn to run, you sort of run almost into this other person that's been breathing fire out of his mouth. And you're like, whoa.
I mean, at least I don't knock myself out this time. This is fine.
Yeah, you're not knocking yourself out or anything. So that's always good. Right. Well, I guess last but not least is the rest of them. Okay.
This is the episode, folks. This is the episode where we end on us turning into a stew.
Yay! Right then. Well,
game over, man.
Then everyone on the island dies because we took all the boats.
Blossom turns around and aims the revolver squarely at the leader and opens fire. What's the damage of your revolver?
It's got a bonus of 3 on it as well.
That's a pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a genuine article. It's a proper revolver.
Right. Well, she is going to roll that. So yeah, she turns around with the revolver, points it squarely at the guy with the spear, and pulls the trigger. There is a large gunshot from the revolver, and the guy with the spear staggers backwards as he takes one to the chest. And she shouts, "That's for fucking eating my brands!"
You tell him, Blossom.
I guess the others kind of step back, kind of seeing that you're all sort of fighting. They're sort of not willing to engage, especially now you've used firearms. The guy with the 4 arms is kind of just looking at you and eyeing you, Broach, his sort of axe that's on the side. sort of like drops out of his hands, and he kind of like drops down to his knees, and he kind of seems to be going very pale. And then he falls backwards, and he appears to also be very dead. Okay, the guy who stopped and kind of like really started to sort of like think, kind of sort of been pushing himself. And you can see that around him, you can see sort of all these little spores appearing, and you can see that he's basically building up this sort of like area effect around him. The spores don't seem to be coming out towards you; they just seem to be sort of like in a loose sort of couple of meter sort of pattern around him. But he doesn't seem to be doing anything else. Right, I guess then this leaves you, Cochrane. You're next.
Okay, so two of the guys directly in front of us are down. There's Sporty Guy, and then there's the guy behind us who is kind of dabbling with Moss at the moment.
Well, Moss is basically running behind him.
Yeah.
Or trying to get past him.
So, yeah. So there's just kind of like the guy with Roach, and then one other guy who's doing spore things at the moment.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
You know what? Do I know anything about these spore things, or I'm mad? Like, I assume I don't know anything about these spores, apart from what I can see, right?
Make a wits roll, a wits roll.
Because if not, I'm going to actually just punch him in the face and take whatever happens.
The spore guy's over here, so you'd have to take a run up and punch him in the face.
Who's the closest guy then who is not in?
This guy is the guy that's just taken a round to the chest.
Then, okay, then I will ignore the spore guy and I will just wallop that guy in the face.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he's, after he gets shot, he's slightly distracted when I just punch him.
Go on, wallop him in the face then.
Let's see what happens. Just one success.
Okay.
No
you
stun.
do 2 damage for some reason.
The 2 damage? No, it should be 1, right? I might have just copied it. It's fists is 1, isn't it?
It should be, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it is, unless I've got it at 2 because I've got the unarmed skill.
Yeah, I think that's because I copied it. It might have just duplicated across from the knife. So it's 1 damage.
You kind of like, you punch him in the face. Yeah, he surprisingly enough was very distracted with being shot in the chest. And you lamp him in the face and he kind of like stumbles backwards and lands on the floor on his back. Right, then it's Caspian.
I'm annoyed that my mutation is only good at arm's length.
I mean, you could get towards him with your movement action.
Good, and then he'll roast me like a fucking... All right.
But you've taken off your assault rifle.
Yes, I have my assault rifle now. Suppose I could shoot him. Yeah, I'll do that. I will shoot him. Any pluses?
Get +3 for your assault rifle. If you go into your weapon and you actually use...
No, I understand that. I'm wondering about the...
There's no bonuses for anything else. I mean, it's long range is your range, so it's just a standard roll.
Is it long range, you said?
Yeah, I mean, the range is long, so for you. So yeah, actually,
that's a +1.
It's fine.
The book says long range is +1. Page 82. Oh, that's for sneak attack. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
My mistake.
Yeah, you're within range, so no issues.
Okay.
You just need to just shoot.
Jesus, I have 2 successes and 2 explosion symbols. I will not be pushing this.
You won't be pushing it. The damage is 2, correct?
The damage is 2. That is correct.
So yeah, one gives you the success, and then the other one gives you the extra damage. So you take 3 damage. Yeah, so you aim your assault rifle at him and pull the trigger. I assume you're just firing 1 shot.
Yep. And I'm screaming, "Die, you motherfucker!"
Yeah, you shoot him square in the chest. You shout at him, and he immediately obeys and hits the floor, dead.
Oh, nice.
Okay, nicely done.
See, we're not outnumbered.
You guys are fine.
We're doing fine. We're teaching these Morlocks
I don't
not
know.
to mess.
Caspian can't see into the alleyway right now, so
Bridge, it's you, sir.
Yeah, I'm eager to create a change of leadership in this group, so I'm going to step forward and hit the guy who's been shot and punched.
Okay. The guy's basically stumbling on the floor. He's on his back. Kind of lean over him and just whack him with your axe. Have an extra +2 dice. Just kill.
An extra 2.
Not that you really need it, or you might do. I mean, I've seen how you've been rolling today.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh, 3 successes from Roach.
Yeah.
What do you do to the guy?
Yeah, I'm basically executing him. So yeah, I guess I'm going to try and decapitate him. It being the traditional thing.
Nice.
Yeah, you grab him by the hair and then just basically swing your axe into his neck, severing it a couple of times. And then there's a pop noise as the head comes off. Yeah. At the moment you do that, the rest of them howl and scream and just start disappearing across into the various nooks and crannies and running into the ruins, leaving just you, the dead. The guy with the spores, he just runs off, leaving this like horrible sort of like middle bit of spores just hanging around the center bit of the alleyway. And then as quickly as it all kind of happened, you're alone.
There's more where that came from if you don't stop eating people from the Ark.
Only Caspian's allowed to do that.
We've already established this.
I guess.
These dead bodies here, what do they have on them besides their weapons?
That's right. Let's just loot them, shall we? So yes, they have some scrap weapons. The one that you had a scrap knife, but they have no form of armor or any belongings of any kind.
One yellow coat.
Yeah, well, I want my stuff back. Is the coat still intact, or did it suffer in the...
It's got a nice little hole in the chest.
Yeah, that can probably prevent it.
And there's a lot of like gore and blood around the lapel of the...
Not a wash off.
I mean, to be fair, it's a raincoat, right?
Exactly.
So I'm taking this guy's scrap knife.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And this guy, axe, you said? This guy up here?
He had, scrap. No, the spear, sorry. Yeah, the scrap spear.
Scrap spear. I'll take that too, because maybe we could use it at the Ark.
Yep. If you want to loot the bodies, basically, you've got the other guy had a scrap axe. The other one had a scrap spear. And everybody else has run away, leaving a scrap spear laying around because they ran off with that thing. Blossom turns to you, Roach, and gives you a massive hug.
Good to see you, Blossom.
Thank you so much.
What happened?
Grabbed as we were outside the Ark.
You were outside. Okay, that's good at least.
We were going out to get water from the tap or the pipe, and we got grabbed, and they took a load of the others, and it just wasn't good.
Are you the only one left?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sunshine's over there.
Pointing to the
You point to the little campfire that's burning. See, I'm
going to go over and put the fire out.
Okay, you go over. You can see there is a lower leg on the fire, and Slice taken out the back of its calf.
Is there any more of her around, or is it just the leg?
It's just the leg that you can see there. As you all kind of make your way over there, she says, "Yeah, they had us in. There's a number of buildings sort of like towards the east, and I think some of our companions are there." She then throws up.
Yeah, well, these guys in the neighborhood, I don't think it's really that safe to stay.
It's probably getting quite late in the afternoon as well now.
I was just going to suggest we get back to the Ark, we take Blossom back, and let Elsa know what's happening out here.
That seems like a good plan, she says. She hands you back your revolver. Seems to hang very close to Roach.
I give her the spear just so she has a weapon.
Yep, that's great. She takes the spear. She says, "I think there's only the rest of them. I didn't see anybody else."
So that if we got the rest of the Ark together, we could try and take them out. That seems good.
Yeah.
If there's not 100 of them somewhere, hidden.
No, there's only them.
They didn't appear to have any guns, so
there'll be 6 of them left. No, they all had hand weapons.
Now, there's nothing in the description that says that the person is aware that when I steal their attributes. So I'm going to spend a mutant point, to steal her agility and bring it back up 1 point of agility so I can go back up to 5. I'm a bastard, I know.
Okay. She feels very fatigued anyway, so she definitely wouldn't pose. Okay.
And you know what? I'll spend 1 more and I'll restore my empathy. Damn it, I'm going to use my mutation.
Okay, cool. Right then. Well, what's the plan?
We should return to the Ark. Let's go north, avoiding that spider zone.
Yeah, sounds good.
You head north. Okay, that's fine. I take it you're just going to speedily head north because you've searched the zone, so that's fine.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't want to be ambushed by the remains of that gang.
Okay, yeah, so you head north back into the forest. So you're going to sort of like cut across into the sort of like diagonal, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, if we can go this way,
I mean,
I know.
Mutant Year Zero doesn't really kind of allow you to go diagonally in the game, but I mean, it's fine. I mean, you can just kind of,
Or we can go straight and then,
well, you just kind of like cut around the end part.
yeah.
And
I mean,
make
we
your
can
way.
make a
That's
beeline
fine.
for the coast if that's,
I
whatever's
mean,
easier.
I presume we need to, fetch our boat.
Can you all please make or take a point of rot and make the other roll that goes with it?
I have 2 rot now. Woohoo.
Does that mean you roll 2 dices if you have 2 rolls?
Indeed.
I have 2 radiation symbols.
Okay, see what everybody else gets.
Ground below, nothing for Cocker.
Nothing for you. Okay.
Wait, hang on. Is my roll showing up?
No, it's not.
Okay, let me try that again.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Still
nice.
nothing.
So yeah, you make your way through. I can't seem to find the rules for rot again. I've forgotten.
I think we're fine for the moment, and then we need to try and wash it off when we get home.
I think Marco might be in trouble because I think it's if you
Yeah, I think
get
Marco.
the symbol,
yeah.
that's when bad things happen.
Oh, shouldn't you ever want to roll the biohazard though?
Mhm. Give me 1 second.
It's one of these
but it's
things where if you
wrong.
roll a success is a bad thing on roll.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
want anything that isn't a success on this one.
Is it in the Threats in the Zones chapter?
I'm just checking, having a look. I don't think it is. I think it's travel through the same. The rot. There we go. So the worst thing the rot is permeates your body and builds up inside you. In fact, yeah. So by the time you've kind of gone all the way down and all the way back, you've got your point. You also get 1 point. Okay. Effects of the rot. So every turn you suffer a rot point, you immediately roll a number of base dice equal to the total amount of rot points you have. For every failure you roll, you suffer 1 point of damage. So actually the radiation is 5. It's when you roll the biohazard sign.
Well, yeah, Chris,
Okay.
you were right.
But you're all good. So no issues for any of you. So that's fine. Okay. You make your way through the zone and you make your way back to the ship. When you get back to the ship, what are they doing on board the ship? So we have some cropland that is being currently developed back in the island to the north of the zone, but neither of you are helping them, so they are just getting on with it. Okay. Wait a second. The cropland is complete. So could someone roll me 3d6?
I can do it if nobody else wants to.
Yep. I'll leave that for you, Marco.
3d6 coming up.
It's like 11.
That is an 11, yes.
Oh, wow. You'll be very pleased to know that your food has now gone up to 25.
oof.
The croplands have come in and but here's the issue. To access them, you now have to access the lawkeepers who can to get them, or you have to take that island by force to get the crops that will come from there.
Yes, we did take away the only other boat that could actually bring food back and forth.
Yes. So they will have a lot of food and they will be doing very well on the island. Thank you very much. But it doesn't benefit the ship until either you make amends or you take the island by force. But you get back to the ship. Presumably you want to speak to Elson.
Yes, I'd like to speak to Elson.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys can do that. I'm going to my bunk.
You got a painting
Got
put
a
up.
picture. Plus, I don't care what Elson has to say anyway.
That's fine.
Somebody has
Well,
a
the rest-
bone to pick with Elson.
Is this a new information? You had to basically force me to go to visit him in the first place.
Oh, the rest of you want to go to Elson, or do you want to go do something else?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go see Elson.
You go to Elson, and you go down into the bowels of the ship. Everything smells of that engine grease. He basically takes you into his audience chamber, which, if you remember, is sort of like an old engine, and there's that grid grating on the floor, and he's sort of sitting on a kind of like a chair with various tools and stuff sitting around him. And Finn is there, the underboss, as well as him and a couple of the others. And very quickly, you kind of like come in. Blossom goes over and tells him what happened. He gets really angry, but then she says that you guys managed to sort of rescue her. And Elsa says, with his sort of that stupid big grin on his face, he says, "That's true."
Yes. My God, that is a stupid grin. I want to eat that grin off his face.
The grin itself does not change. It is like permanently stuck in that grimace. Also, his head is massive compared to his body. I'm so very grateful for this. So very grateful. I'm not doing the grin. And he says, "What can I do to help you? I mean, you've saved one of my own.
I look at the other two and go, I guess we could do with some more resources.
Yeah.
Of course.
I could do
to
with
help
some
with that.
grub.
If
Yeah.
Fighting cannibals is, hungry work.
okay, we can do that. We can absolutely do that.
And I would suggest that we put the Ark on alert.
That's a very good idea.
And I would very much like to go back out there in full force and take these fuckers out.
I agree. I'm more than happy to do that myself.
I look across the Blossom and go, maybe you'd like to lead the party.
I'd love to, she says. Yeah, maybe we could do that. Sure, I think that seems like a good plan. We can arrange it for tomorrow. How many did you say there were?
Well, there were about 10, but we took out at least half of them.
Okay, well, we can...
There may be more. There may have been more of them hiding in the ruins. We're unsure.
Well, we could definitely go hunt them down. That seems like a good plan. Then we'll know that we'll have a safe area.
I could also use some more bullets, Mr. Elson.
Sure, I can arrange that. Not a problem. He says, Zippo, see if you can arrange that. There's a guy wearing a big sort of like trench coat with like lots of scrap bits all over him. And he says, sure, I can do that.
Thanks a lot, Zipper.
And he kind of wanders off.
Purposefully got his name wrong.
So, Elson, is there a new leader of the rugged crew yet?
Not yet. They're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, well, fuck them too.
Actually, now that we're here and, like the whatever negotiations for better supplies and such are going on, I'm going to sort of slip away and look for my mate Chaos, and I hope nothing's happened to them through all this turmoil. I've not checked on them in forever.
Roll me a d6.
Oh, sorry, not 2d6, 1d6. Okay.
Has Chaos already been eaten?
It's a nice, safe,
Chaos
middling
was
roll.
tasty. A safe middling roll. Well, that's what you'd like to think. No. Yeah, Chaos is there.
Yeah, I give them one of my mysterious soft items printed with a pretty museum picture. I don't know what this is there for, but they had these hung on the wall and they were huge and they had little ones to take away. And this is nice and soft. Maybe you can, I don't know, use it for a pillow or something.
Thank you. That's really kind of you.
And I sort of, tell how we were going to go exploring. And I was so hoping to find great stuff to like build my new inventions from. But then this art place with the statues, that was, that wasn't as utilitarian as I would have wanted it to be, but it really blew my mind with being so beautiful.
See that Chaos's eyes glaze over as you talk about that.
I rekindled the conversation with the cannibal battle in which I totally did something else other than run away.
Well, Chaos is absolutely happy to put his own name down to go and find those cannibals and kill them. So yeah, he's like, well, I'll speak to Elson. I'll go and go on this expedition and we'll go and kill ourselves some cannibals. I hate cannibals. He's never met a cannibal before in his life, but he hates.
He hasn't met Caspian yet.
Not yet.
So while she's doing that, Moss is doing that. Caspian, when Roach and Elson are discussing Rhett's gang and whether or not they have a new leader, Caspian will suggest, "Hey man, with this threat out there, these people are taking they're taking our people and they're eating them. We are at war and we need to be united. We can't be fighting amongst ourselves anymore. No more individual bosses. There needs to be one leader. And Elson, that should be you."
Yeah, it should.
Yeah, it should.
I don't know if the others are going to agree with that.
Well, once they know the threat, once they understand what's coming for them, I think they will.
Well, in that case, we
should have a meeting.
We should have a meeting. I agree.
The Ark is at war.
Yes, I like this.
Caspian is stirring up shit.
Says, okay, yeah, we'll have a meeting. Yeah, a meeting seems like a plan. All right, I'll call a meeting. Do we want to get the others involved as well?
What do you mean the others?
On the island?
Yes, they should be aware, I think.
Elson, may I suggest that maybe you propose power sharing model first, a council.
Well, that didn't work last time.
Yeah, I know. But no one had the power advantage to hold it together.
So we're not really a council then, are we? I'd be the one leading, and they'd be, advisors?
You got to offer them something.
Look, man, we offer them, it's temporary. He's our war leader. And once the threat of the cannibals is over, then we will return to power-sharing council-type governance. That's what I think.
He leans forward and goes, for a bunch of independents, you're all quite sneaky, aren't you?
Hey, man, I don't want to be eaten.
Well, neither do I. Okay, well, why don't I do that then? I'll arrange to get them back here. We can have a conversation with them.
Sorry, Roach.
Could you do me a favor?
Sure thing.
Can you get our boat back? Someone took our boat.
Someone took our boat? Didn't Arwen's gang take our boat?
Yeah, but they don't have it.
They lost it?
It's gone.
How stupid of them. How irresponsible.
How completely boneheaded. See, Arwen's gang doesn't deserve a seat at the table. They're so incompetent. They're going to get us all killed.
So
they can stay being farmers and providing us with food.
Well, you have the boat. So can you go and deliver the message to Anwen?
Yes, I have the only remaining boat, is what you're saying. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, well,
yes.
Other than the small kind of like skiffs and stuff.
Yeah. No, I was just trying to make sure he didn't know that we had the other boat.
No. He doesn't seem to know that.
Yes, I will. Okay. I will relay the message.
Well, I'll think on that, and I'll see if I can get one of their. Well, I suppose it's going to be one of the others, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, we'll have a meeting in a couple of days.
I salute him.
He says, "This is for you," and he hands you a ammo tub of bullets.
Wow, we're going to finish off those cannibals with that.
How many bullets is in this tub?
32 bullets in the tub.
Oh,
wow. Okay, that means I have 37 bullets in total.
That is for he assumes that's for the group.
I'm the only one with a gun, though. But yes, okay, perfect. Thank you very much. What about grub?
So he will give you. Let's grub to see how, but he doesn't have a massive amount of grubs.
Moss, I'm going to need you to fix that scrap rifle for me.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So you get 4 grub and 3 water.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Oh, you want to fix the scrap rifle, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you kind of like leave his chambers, and you kind of go to sort of like do a bit of rest and recuperation. And in doing so, you would like to repair
scrap rifle. It's broken. Okay. My rifle is broken.
Your poor little right.
Moss, will you make my rifle better?
Yes, but not with this roll right there. I think this needs pushing.
I've seen worse rolls, but yeah, that's a pretty bad roll.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Much better. Look at that.
It's much better now.
And you should have broken your gun.
4 successes. That's amazing.
What does that
do?
What
will this rifle be able to do now?
Right. If you make the roll, you construct, you fix it. That's fine.
And it now shoots like lasers.
That's fine. You repair it. More successes means that you can basically repair that up to the total, but I think it only is a +1. Is that correct, Marco? The scrap rifle?
Yeah.
You got, a bonus of 1. So that's fine.
So how do I repair it? I just put the 1 back?
Yes. Just put the 1 back.
Okay. I'm looking at the description. It's saying stuff like durability, increase the gear bonus by 1.
You can if you're actually making it, but
is it only if you're
just
making it?
Fixing it.
This repairs.
Yeah, if you'd have tried to make it, you could have added to the durability, the armor protection, damage, that kind of thing. That doesn't count if you're just fixing it.
Thanks,
but
Mark.
Yeah, nicely done. And that's how. That's how you do the rest of the stuff. So by the time you get back, there's a large painting in Cochrane's quarters.
Oh,
how well did it survive the folding up?
Well, it's got sort of like a bunch of squares on it now, but yeah, for the most part, it looks pretty much the same. I mean, I'm guessing that Cochrane is probably not an art connoisseur, and therefore isn't that fussed by the crease marks and the loss of paint.
If there's like particularly big bits of paint missing, like he might go down and see if he can find some paint and then like paint it back with some like machine paint or something like that I might find right.
Amazing. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you add some bits to it. I mean, it looks great.
Or just like, I vaguely remember this bit was brown, so I'll put a brown splodge there. So it looks a bit like that restored like picture of Jesus, maybe.
Yeah, you kind of like make it sort of back the way it was.
It looks exactly the same.
exactly the same.
This art stuff's quite therapeutic, this painting.
I mean, obviously, it didn't take a lot of time. How hard could it be? Yeah, you guys kind of rest up, and I'm going to generously say that if you've got any damage, if you've suffered any trauma, you can have that back over the intervening times. So by all means, put all your stats back up to normal. Oh, look at that. How nice. And then what I need to do for you all is assume you're going to get clean and decontaminate yourself from the rot. Do you just going to sort of like bathe in the ocean, or are you going to actually go out of your way to clean yourself?
I imagine we would clean ourselves like the most efficient way that we've been doing it on the Ark since day one.
A really firm, bristly brush, so your skin's red.
In that case, can you make some rolls to get rid of your permanent rot points?
Well, I don't have any permanent ones. I just have 2. How does that work?
Temporary. So now, when you're decontaminating, or when the rot leaves your body, every time you're about to lose 1 rot point, roll 1 base dice. If you roll a 1, the rot point stays and becomes permanent. Permanent rot points stay with you for the rest of your life, no matter what.
So, and because I have 2 points, I roll 2 d6?
It'll be 1 at a time, but yes.
I just rolled the 2 single dice as I'm player 5, apparently.
So
I don't know why that's player 4.
So that's fine. You lose both your rot points and they go, and they don't become permanent. So how many do you have, Pete?
2. So
if you roll a single d6 and then another single d6,
permanent.
That becomes permanent. And your next one is fine. So you have 1 permanent. And then Marco, just for you, says, that's fine. Oh, that's permanent. So you get 1 permanent.
Oh, okay. So I lose 1, and then the other one goes over to the permanent side.
And then you kind of take a bit of time to sing some sea shanties, to sort of sit down with your fellow mutants to relax. You definitely can sense that there is a different feel to the ship. Things have calmed down a little bit, once they had done, until Elson's now sort of ramping up to have another meeting and then go out into the zone and to hunt down these dastardly feral mutants.
Every time we're going to come back, there's going to be now there's a lot of flags around. Now everyone's wearing uniforms.
They're wearing armbands.
It's just oh no.
We haven't quite got there yet. It's fine.
I draw the line at armbands.
I mean, that's not going to be the case. You guys have got a culture of 2.
Right.
You've already instigated fear of the other, so I think there's only a few more factors we need before it's dictatorship.